Alright, what's up YouTube? Didra here, bringing you another video today. Now, today I'm just going to go over YCS Atlanta. I just want to talk about it because I did keep up with it over the weekend. Unfortunately, I was gone all weekend, so I couldn't keep up with deck profiles and stuff like that. I'll probably have a few deck profiles coming up on the channel anyway from YCS Atlanta. Just unfortunate timing for this event and whatnot. And also like as regionals continue to go on, I'm gonna keep on doing deck profiles on that. Hopefully, get some dual videos out for you really soon, and I'll be streaming sometime this week, for sure. Now, let's talk about YCS Atlanta, and the showing of decks is actually pretty diverse, but a large chunk of it was Pendulum Magician. Remember, there's more than one variant of Pendulum Magician right now too. But so we a whopping 53% took top 32 spots at YCS Atlanta, and I think that's pretty crazy. I think there's a couple reasons for that, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that right after we talk about the other deck. So we see the second best deck being Trickstar by only 16%. So a huge change in percentage. It's not just two decks of the format. It's definitely gonna be a few decks. And then we got Invoked. There's a couple different variants of Invoked. There was a couple different variants of True Draco, and True Draco really made a really big showing at this event, actually. There's a lot of True Draco players, not in top 32 though, of course. Then I think there was two Light Swarm, Dino Zombies, just pretty crazy. I mean, with the new Link and having Minerva, and just the access to everything, it's just really good. One Metal Foe, which is actually kind of interesting. That was kind of the surprise of this one, but it makes sense. Electromite's back, or Electromite came out, so it does make sense there. One ABC and one Spiral. Now, I want to note that the Spiral player was the guy who won a YCS when Spirals were like really big, and this guy has been really dedicated to the deck. Now, Spirals are definitely not dead. We definitely saw there's a couple Spiral players who did pretty well this event, but this is the only one in the top 32, the only one to really do anything. And like, to me, that's just actually like pretty crazy that he took this deck that everyone thought was dead and did really good with it. It goes to show that he's just a really good player, more than how good the deck is. Do I think Spiral's going to be a top contender this format? I can see it being in like fifth spot for like the top fifth deck, but like nothing really higher. I don't think it's really going to do too much. I think the big thing for it is just being unprepared. If you come unprepared for Spirals, you'll probably lose to it. That's the biggest thing. So always kind of be prepared for that. Now, let's talk about Pen Magician and like why they did so good. So first off, like, yeah, they just got like hit really hard on the ban list, and obviously they're still doing crazy things. People resorted to new engines, and there was like two engines that were used. I think, and that actually might be the reason. I think the reason that this ban list was so new, and people haven't quite had the experience playing under it yet that they could have had. And I think that's a large factor of why this was so good. So the people who were playing Magicians knew what they were doing, but the people who were not playing the Magician deck didn't have as much experience playing against it, because it's essentially the same thing, but different at the same time. You make Electromite, and that's really where you're going with this play now. Electromite is this heart and soul of this deck, honestly. Obviously Astrograph and all that is really good too, but do I see this as a problem? I think it's going to diversify the meta as it keeps going, as we learn how to play against these decks, as how we learn the mythical beasts work in those engines, as just we get more knowledge of how the deck works. I think we're gonna see it diversify a bit more. But like, I don't, I'm not really sure. It could go either way. It could either diversify or it could just top way more. But I think definitely something's gonna have to happen next ban list to get rid of the Pen Magicians. I don't know. I mean, a lot of you get rid of Astrograph, get rid of the other one, but or like like honestly that is one of the big issues. But like, honestly, as a pendulum monster, like Electromite is fucking stupid. Like that is the best link monster like I've ever seen, because it's so easy to bring out. That's the point, is how easy it is for it to come out on the field. It's pretty simple. And like I just think that's the main problem with the deck is Electromite. Could Electromite be the first ban pendulum link monster? Maybe. Honestly, I don't know. That's my opinion. A lot of people disagree with me on that, and that's fine for people to disagree with me, because like, it's just that it is what it is. But like, honestly, I don't see I don't see like Firewall getting banned, because like at one, Firewall is all right. I don't see anything. Maybe Skullmeister or Skulldread, not Skullmeister. I don't know why I said Meister. Sorry, Skulldread maybe. Maybe he gets banned before that. I mean, Skulldread's really freaking good, but I don't know. Electromite is it's two pendulum monsters. It's a Link 2. Bring it out, and it does so many things just in every good way. I could actually see it just going away. But I don't think it's gonna go away anytime soon. I think it might be a while, and I think we might get another pendulum deck in the future that is just absolutely more broken than this, and that's what's eventually going to get it banned. I don't know. That's just my opinion. How do we deal with the deck? I mean, we can get rid of Astrograph. We can do a lot to get rid of pendulums, or just slow them down. I'm not really sure. I think it's pretty crazy. 53%. Trickstar kind of had a less showing. I think this is just because like, you a lot of time, and this is coming from a Trickstar player. I think a lot of the time, Trickstar's big win is like draw lock combo. Honestly, that's big. That's this big thing. Draw and lock combo for Trickstar is like just huge, banishing your opponent's entire hand. I think Trickstar can be a little iffy too. Like if you don't draw, if you don't go first, like that's a big thing right there. If you're not going first, it already sucks. Also, like if you don't draw, if you end up going second, you don't get your hand traps, fucking sucks. There's just so much wrong with the deck. I mean, it's a good deck, and I think it's only gonna get better as time goes on, as we get more stuff that comes out, and as we get that stuff. But so I think Trickstar. I don't know, with the way it's going right now, and especially like the amount of regional tops, I see a lot less Trickstars at regionals as well. So I think right now, if Trickstars stay on the path they're on, I don't see a hit coming to Reincarnation. Just because it's I don't think that the deck's that big of a problem, and it's not going to be really seen in Konami's eyes. I could be wrong. They did hit it in OCG to 1, but I think if they I don't think I think if anything, if it stays on this path, at the very most, Reincarnation is going to go to 2. I don't see it if it stays on this path going to 1, just because it's not doing as well as it could be. And that's just because of the overwhelming pendulum matchup. Just we have some rough matchups. I mean, anything that makes a beater is just a rough matchup for Trickstar. Like honestly, it's hard to get over those. You got to run Kaiju's, or you got to hopefully have the hand traps and just don't let them. I mean, Trickstar is like board wipe, not a board wipe, but a board control dominant deck. That's how it works, and that's why you run so many hand traps in that. You stop your opponent from going off, and you hopefully keep their board clean, poke, burn, do all that kind of stuff. And then Invoked, I honestly don't really know anything about this deck very much. I was just kind of coming back into the scene and nobody was playing it, so I don't know. Invoked did pretty good. True Draco, I mean, Masterpiece is just really good. Lightswarm, I mean, Lightswarm is always going to do a little bit of something. Like, as long as it keeps getting support, then it's going to keep doing something, because it's such a loved deck and it's been around forever. Mixing different engines just hasn't been a real big thing with it. Yeah, so that's all we have to say. And like I said, ABC, I think like ABC is actually a really good deck. I think it's one of those decks that is going to be around for a while, because like Buster Dragon is stupidly good. Like it's actually dumb how good that card is. And how it can tag out and bring back things, and it's just pretty stupid. But yeah, that's how my thing. I think, but I really do believe that the format will diversify over time here. I don't think we're gonna see. I think we might see like a 30% range for Pendulum Magicians at the next YCS, if there is. I think there's another YCS before Nationals. I'm not sure. Let's see here. I mean, I would assume there is, but I'm not 100% sure. So if there is, I think like maybe a 30% range, or like high 30s, low 40s, not quite as big, or it's gonna be really, really huge. So yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me. Like the video, all that kind of stuff really helps out the channel. We're really gunning for a new start and just gain up followers and all that stuff. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later. Peace.